যে এই ইয়েটা যদি না হতো, এই বিপ্লবটা যদি, if this has not happened, this transition would not have happened, then by this year India would have successfully implanted a entire military presence in Bangladesh. তাহলে আমরা কিন্তু আর এটা থেকে বের হয়ে আসতে পারতাম না। আমার ধারণা ইট ইজ এ ডিভাইন ডেস্টিনি এবং বিধাতার, আল্লাহ তাআলার অশেষ মেহেরবানি যে ভারতীয় বাহিনী বাংলাদেশের ভিতরে প্রবেশ করে একটা স্থায়ী উপস্থিতি ঘটাবার আগে আমরা আমাদের বাস্তবতায় ফিরে আসতে পারছি। এবং এই জন্যে আল্লাহু আকবার। আরেকটা কথা আমার বলতে হয় যে আমার সবচেয়ে আই ফেল্ট শক যে বাঙালি চরিত্র যে কত বেইমানের হইতে পারে, বেইমানি থাকতে পারে, এটা আমি কোনোদিন ভাবি নাই। ৭১ নিয়ে সবসময় উই ইউজ টু ফিল সো প্রাউড, কিন্তু আমরা আমাদের দেশটা বিক্রি করে দিতে পারি এবং এরকমভাবে মানুষ জেনে শুনে দিয়ে দিতে পারে। হাসিনা কি করলো? শি গেভ অ্যাওয়ে বাংলাদেশ, শি গেভ ইট অ্যাওয়ে। দিস ইজ এ টেররিস্ট। আমি গত ২ বছর ধরে যখনই আমি টিভি টক শোতে আসি, আই নেভার কল্ড আওয়ামী লীগ এ গভর্নমেন্ট, আই অলওয়েজ কল্ড ইট এ টেররিস্ট রেজিম। ইউ উইল সি। আমি গত ৪০ বছর ধরে ঢাকা ইউনিভার্সিটিতে পড়াই আন্তর্জাতিক নিরাপত্তা, এবং বাইরে আমার যতটুকু জ্ঞান লাভ করেছি, টেররিজমের যে ডেফিনেশন, পারফেক্টলি আওয়ামী লীগ ফিটস ইনটু দ্য ডেফিনেশন অফ টেররিজম। It is not a political party. It's not a political party. It has been a terrorist organization which took power. ৩ বার terrorist কায়দায় ক্ষমতা নিছে, and we had failed to call it a terrorist party because of the overpowering influence of India. The Indians planned the whole thing. Since that BDR episode, the Indians created the blueprint for ultimately the takeover. It has all been a part of the raw scheming, and they had very successfully penetrated into every aspect of our life, and they had almost reached the critical point. That is why, you can see in the Indian media today, there's so much outburst, amazing type of fantasy যে বাংলাদেশ কোথায় চলে যাচ্ছে, বাংলাদেশ কীভাবে এরকম হলো। রিটায়ার্ড জেনারেলস আর ইনভলভ। সবচেয়ে বেশি হচ্ছে one Lieutenant General Sharma, and the other is Major General Bokshi, and there is this younger officer named Adi something. If you listen to the Indian civilian and military's interpretations, absolutely, aggressive, damaging, and as if Bangladesh is going into the hands of fundamentalists, যে আমরা এখন টোটালি হয়ে যাচ্ছে। এর অর্থ কি? এর অর্থ যে তাদের স্কিমটা ছিল যে এই বছরের মধ্যেই বাংলাদেশ তাদের সামরিক নিয়ন্ত্রণে চলে আসবে। আমি কিন্তু অনেক আগে থেকেই বলতেছিলাম, আই হ্যাড সেড ইট দ্যাট দিস ইয়ার বাংলাদেশ উইল লুজ ইটস ফ্রিডম। The Indians couldn't do it, and now their retired military people are absolutely, ravaging. They want to change the status quo in Bangladesh, and if they get an opportunity, they will do it. There is still the danger. It is unthinkable. We could have become almost a vassal state. So what do? আমাদের যে উত্তর হইল, we have to get out of this vassalization. This vassalization process cannot be overcome by simply willingness to resist. There has to be the reliance on the idea of alliance and technology. Without alliance and without technology, India cannot be deterred. India must get out of this 15 years of habitual belief that they can turn Bangladesh into just like, one of the Seven Sisters. In order to change the Indian habitual perception, our only answer, as I feel, is nuclearization. Vassalization can only be prevented by nuclearization. Now, I find it very difficult that most people seem to consider this unrealistic and expensive. Especially economists have a strong repulsion towards military security of higher level of technology. Economists like Dr. Khalilur Rahman, who is a very senior diplomat and has retired, he was talking about Janogoner Shakti. But this is vague. Janogoner Shakti must be supplemented by the power to deter. Nuclearization does not mean that we have to be a nuclear power. Nuclearization, I mean that we have to develop a nuclear treaty with our former adversary, Pakistan. Pakistan is the most reliable, trustworthy security ally of Bangladesh. This is exactly what the Indians want us not to believe. This is exactly what Awami League wants us not to believe. But this is exactly what, Pakistanis, their herds burn out. They may not ask formally for forgiveness, but they don't want to see us become an Indian vassal. They will do anything, I can assure you, they will do anything to protect us from the Indians. That is why we must start formal talks with the Pakistani government. I don't know whether this government will do that. I don't know whether this government has any mandate to do that. But I have spoken to two very important retired Pakistani ambassadors. One was Ambassador Shahiduzzaman Siddiqui, who served in Dhaka, whose grandfather was Chaudhry Khaliquzzaman, অনেক আগে 1950s এ ছিলেন। আর আরেকজন হচ্ছে Ambassador Ezad Chaudhry. Both are Pakistani very influential foreign service officers. Both accept the idea that we should start negotiating with Pakistan very seriously. I can assure you, you cannot trust China, you cannot trust US. This diplomat is coming to Dhaka, but he is coming via Delhi to Dhaka, Donald Lu. He will consult in Delhi, he will hear Delhi's version, then he will. So, I think nuclearization and negotiations and a solid defense partnership with Pakistan is absolutely essential. Once you can install some, Ghauri short-range missiles in North Bengal and in our hill tracts, and you have the launchers, it will have a deterrent effect on India. The Indian attitude towards Bangladesh otherwise will be continuously one of threatening. Just the way their retired generals are doing right now. They talk about, taking away 30 kilometers from the Siliguri corridor from within Bangladesh. They want to take away the northernmost part of Bangladesh, and they compare it with the Abkhazia model, the Russian model of annexing northeast Georgia and renaming it as part of Russia. They compared it with this Russian success in annexation of northeast Georgia, whereby the Georgians have lost the territory. Indian generals seriously believe that they can take parts of Bangladesh. This is the